And welcome. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide. Port of call on Nationwide today, and Dotun is our guide. Good afternoon, Dotun.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Lydia. A warm welcome to Lagos. African leaders have been challenged to imbibe the principles and values Nelson Mandela stood for by taking action towards eradicating poverty in the continent. This was the focus of the 2019 Nelson Mandela International Day celebration in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge reports that the event was organized by the United Nations Information Center.
The International Nelson Mandela Day is observed every year on July 18. This year's celebration marks 100 years since the birth of Nelson Mandela. The day, adopted by the United Nations, provides an opportunity to reflect on Mandela's life, legacy, and contribution to the culture of peace and freedom. The theme for this year's celebration focuses on mobilizing people, government, civil society, and corporate organizations to take action against poverty.
As we remember the legacy of Nelson Mandela, let us recommit ourselves to Agenda 2030. And the Sustainable Development Goals to end poverty in all its forms by 2030.
A lot of youths in Nigeria are doing a lot of things which really will end poverty as we go along. So we invited some young ones to really introduce what they do as organizations.
This year, the focus on poverty is exactly what he would have wanted the world to do, to make sure that we address poverty and underdevelopment.
These young Nigerians have initiated programs aimed at reducing poverty in their various communities. They were there to share their knowledge using the Nelson Mandela's principles of life.
The tenet of Mandela, which he demonstrated while he was alive, and the legacy that he left us with are something that also still inspire people like us to want to take action against poverty.
Nelson Mandela exemplified courage, commitment to freedom, peace, and social justice, which he lived and died. He died in 2013 at the age of 95 in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
In continuation of its vision to connect with corporate Nigeria and other federal agencies, the management team of NTA Lagos Network Center paid a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Ports Authority headquarters, Lagos. Zonal Director Lawal Ahmed asked the NPA to explore partnership with the NTA for enhanced service delivery of NPA operations. The visit is part of efforts by the center to acquaint the NPA with innovations to serve the nation better. Paul Omukago tells us more.
The Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, regulates and operates the ports in Nigeria, as well as in exploiting the maritime resources of Nigeria. The operations of NPA are carried out in affiliation with the Ministry of Transportation and the Nigerian Shippers Council. NTA Lagos Network Center is therefore asking NPA management to partner NTA to ensure that its activities and services offered at the various ports in the country are publicized, especially now that the center has expanded its reach with its signals in DSTV 369, GoTV 114, and StarTimes 104, as well as on terrestrial channels.
Not so many Nigerians are aware, for instance, that there are a lot of businesses that are connected with the seas. What are those opportunities? How can they latch on them and so on? And with the recent opening up of export processing zones, people need to be more aware of how they can actually capitalize on these opportunities, these windows.
Managing Director, NPA, Adiza Bala Usman, says interagency collaboration among government agencies and parastatals will boost information dissemination by bringing government activities to Nigerians.
We need to do more in making people aware of the blue economy, what it entails, what the benefits are for Nigeria, and how we need to tap into it. It's still quite, I'll say, a young economy to the extent that Nigerians have not been able to understand the extent of the value that is obtainable.
NTA2 Lagos Network Center, under the current management, is constantly improving services to the benefit of its teeming viewers. In Lagos, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
Whenever there is an air crash, the first thing a journalist thinks of is how to get to the scene of the crash so as to be the first to report. But there are requisite skills needed in reporting air accidents. These skills were highlighted at a training facilitated by an official aircraft accident investigator from the United States Navy and Marine Corps, Matthew Robinson. Elizabeth Ewuga reports.
In civil aviation, investigating aircraft accidents is the responsibility of the government agency in any country that is signatory to ICAO Convention. In Nigeria, for instance, the Accident Investigation Bureau, AIB, is in charge, with the media as partners for proper coverage and dissemination of the cause to avoid a repeat of such incidents. This explains why the AIB trains some aviation journalists on accident management and media relations in Lagos.
For the media to be able to carry out its duties and obligations to the society effectively and efficiently well, they need to have adequate knowledge of the industry.
Workshop tagged investigation management seek to deepen the knowledge of participants. The resource person from Southern California Safety Institute shared his vast knowledge of technical crash analysis and operational risk management.
I teach my investigators to count on the flight data recorders or the cockpit voice recorders. That just helps in the long run, but they should be able to investigate and determine causation without those as well.
30 participants drawn from different media organizations benefited from the training, which was interactive, practical, and interesting.
I've been able to understand the challenges the various stakeholders had to go through in the course of any air accident investigation.
Questions as journalists that we need to ask to actually get the meat of the story and report back to the public. That I have gathered.
Certificates were given to participants at the end of the 5-day training. In Lagos, Elizabeth Ewuga, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Abuja.
Many thanks, Dotun. The Presidential Election Petition Court has dismissed the motion of the Hope Democratic Party seeking to amend the list of its witnesses. The court, in unanimous decision on oath development, this hearing.